Never forget.
Space Irish.
So we're going to go over tonight about 2.0 because it's a new thing. And we're going to talk about what happened, how people got in, how they didn't get in.
I was going to say, underscore test was the one who gave me his account. So thank you, underscore
test?
live on the STARCAST.
Do you owe him some DNA now? Because I think that's a DNA worthy kind of thing.
I think that is DNA. Yes.
That's DNA. I'll give him some for you, just in case. Man, you have a very bright green screen, Baron.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
You know what? I didn't get a chance to play this demo, but I'm gonna give it away a P72 Archimedes. Bam!
Oh yeah!
Tonight?
Wow!
Gio loves this community so much. Even though he didn't get in, he's still gonna back.
Get ready, chap.
Get ready. That is awesome. Thank you, Gio.
Hey, no problem, sir.
Oh, that's great.
Even though it was an LTI holder, I feel like giving.
Yeah. See. Okay. All right. So let's just move on then. Let's just get into the meat of the potatoes or meat and potatoes.
What's 2.0?
Before we get started, okay. Everybody, if you have a question for us tonight, type in !question. It's a forum. You can go ahead and fill that out. Also, the phone lines are open. If you have a question you would like to just ask us and talk on the show, you can do that. You can call in and we can judge you for your worthiness and make fun of you when you hang up and all that. So you can call in with that phone number right there. Right, chair.
I'm giving away some mustard tonight too. This is jalapeno and sweet and spicy mustard I'm giving away. So
you're giving that away too on a bun, or how you giving
it? Can you fax it?
It has LTI too. Yeah, I can fax it.
LTI.
Excellent.
That goes with my new fascination with the deli meats. I'm excited.
We all definitely love meat. So
you call in your dedications. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. 2.0 PTU just dropped the other day, and a couple of us got in, a couple of us had salt. And then they opened it up.
I had much salt.
You had much
salt was flowing.
It was flowing through you. It's hard to see salt flow, but if it gets hot enough, it's like magma, so it will flow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and then last night they opened it up for another 20,000, and then tonight or tomorrow night or next few nights they're going to open it up to the masses. So if you have not got in yet, the chances are you're going to get in pretty soon.
No, this is to PTU. This is not for live release. You still have to download the PTU, which is different. People got to remember that.
Yeah, they're not going to put it live until it's stable enough that people can play it most of the time. Otherwise, people won't have something to fall back on.
It's just amazing that people who haven't played months or have an alternate account got in, and I didn't. And I've been playing.
Yeah, that's the same thing. The same thing happened with me. I've been playing. I've been streaming the game a lot. And I've been playing a lot of hours for it, and I still didn't get chosen. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Let me fill you in, because what ended up happening is I decided to intercede for the community, because I had a lot of people writing me direct messages on Twitter, and I think people know that I know Disco and Ben and name dropping. Anyway, so I know these guys, and they asked me to find out what the hell happened. And so I wrote to Ben, and Ben told me that what originally had happened was they only let in people that had posted significantly on the what's the council? The
Issue Council.
Issue Council. If you did not post recently or with great volume on the Issue Council, you did not get in.
Yeah, that's BS.
That was BS. Well, it wasn't that it's total BS, but here's what ended up happening. I then talked with Disco Lando last night, and I said, "Hey, is somebody calling in? Hold on.
Yeah, someone's calling in.
I can't see.
There's two people calling in.
Okay, hold on, callers. I'm going to mute you, and we'll get you in just a moment. Okay, hang in there." So what ended up happening was Disco then told me that it was all based on whether or not you got into ArcCorp in what stage. So if you got into ArcCorp version 1, or the very first wave of ArcCorp, that was the people that were writing a lot of reports back then. Those same exact sample size, that same exact 1,000 from a month or two ago, was the one that got in first. And then the next set, the second set, got in second, and then so on and so on and so on.
Well, the problem with that theory is that I got in second for that wave of PTU, and I didn't get in second. So what that theory is wrong. If
I'm just going.
People haven't played in months.
Yeah,
in alternate accounts that are getting it. They've never even touched getting invites.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all fucked up.
I realized that my wife's account actually got in early as well for doing that. So I probably could have used my wife's account if that was the case.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. This is what Disco told me. And then we have since found out it's different than that. But one thing he did tell me that it did sort of ring a little true, and I kind of appreciate this part, is that Sig is not playing favorites at all.
Oh, no.
What's this, Baron? You got a thing in your eye?
Yeah, I got a thing in my eye.
Things in your eye, or no?
Is that they're not playing favorites. They're taking like a weird group, and they're giving those people access, then they're taking another weird group. They're not going, oh, Baron, Domo, Geo, you guys are streamers and YouTubers, you get in now. You know, that would be placating to us just because we have a voice. So I do appreciate that they did sort of take random people. They have some streamers in there, but that's just because the streamers also played.
I thought he said it was for people who didn't spend like the loads, like the big money to get in first. I thought that's what he said. I didn't, because some companies, even with like trying to think what game does like betas and stuff, they'll let some of the big people, like let's say EA, will let Level Cap get access to an alpha or beta. Like with Star Wars Battlefront came out, they gave him access because he's a YouTuber and stuff. So I think they should kind of go that same route with some of us. I mean, I'm like one of the top YouTubers of Star Citizen, and I got denied.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I just fixed the audio. I saw that a couple of the guys were a little louder, but I think I adjusted it down.
Okay, just want to make sure because I was going to adjust my end.
If you can bring you down just a little bit, you can, because I've got everyone kind of normal, but you're still a tiny bit hot.
I think the only thing I was kind of salty about, well, partly because I didn't get in the first wave, but that was just me being greedy. But the fact that it has such a large impact, because it's such a big change, it has such a large impact on the content creation community, that having a release that only has different selected people from the content creating community, but isn't under an embargo, means that those who did get lucky to get in first reap all the benefits. Anyone who comes last is pretty much dead in the water.
Are you talking?
It was entirely that's one thing. It was entirely unfair to content creators because even though CIG is trying to be fair to everybody, if Baron and WTF get access before Twerk's going to get hurt because he's not streaming 2.0.
Yeah, it's a business thing for us.
The smaller streamers the most who didn't get access, because the smaller streamers have the most to gain from exposure to this game. People who have been streaming this game for a much longer time. Like I don't stream this game every day. There are some smaller streamers who stream this game every day in and day out, week after week, and they didn't get access. And so it's one of those like they don't get access. They can't grow their channels. It can't help them, and it doesn't help Star Citizen in the end, because those are the people who are the ambassadors to Star Citizen.
Go ahead, Baron.
It's a slippery slope argument to make, though, and I don't have an answer for this. But at some point, if you as a company decide that you're going to I'm going to let all my content creators in, down the line somewhere, someone's going to get their feelings hurt.
Absolutely.
Because someone might say, hey, I just made a Twitch account for this. I'm a Twitch streamer now. Can I get access? There are people working their butts off every day, and there's channels of all different sizes working on Twitch. But eventually, we have a cutoff point. Whoever who's not in that cutoff point, it's not going to be fun, and there's no real nice way to handle that. Obviously, they're going to want their content creators in there, and it sucks if you don't get in. It really does. Like,
because it feels a snub. It's a snub, and like
absolutely, it's a snub, and you feel like you're going to be shut out for the next few days, and it sucks. But I think that's a tricky problem. I don't want to be the person who has to decide that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean that was my point, in that the only fair way would have been an embargo.
Yeah, no. If they had just put in an NDA, kept the NDA that they originally had planned, obviously because they had it in the email. It's probably just a holdover from this, just a copy paste from the social module. But
that's
if
what
they
I'm
had
saying.
held it off from like the social module, it would have been fair for everybody. That way, there wouldn't be content creators who had a chance to. And what I would have said is something like you can post, maybe a partial NDA where you could post screenshots, which you couldn't post videos or stream it, because that way people could still get content that they could see from people who are going in real quickly and testing it out, just like a screenshot from any update that they do. But it wouldn't affect people who are doing videos, like even people like Scott Manley. I don't even know if Scott Manley got in, and Scott Manley is one of those people who he has a lot of reach within the space community. And if he got in early,
their way to do it, making it like I said, the random sort of like it fixed that sort of issue, because honestly, I gotta be harsh about it, but Baron is doing fantastic right now streaming this game. Fantastic. His channel is doing great because he's dedicated his whole channel around this game. It's central to Star Citizen.
Deservedly, yeah.
Right, and deservedly so. He's doing very well. But I'll just use another streamer, say Co Carnage. If Co Carnage were to, right now, at this moment, decide to start playing Star Citizen, all that work that Baron has done will get buried somewhere down the page if Co, Lyric, Soda Poppin', all these guys, Bikeman, these guys will crush all of us in a second. Yeah. And it's not fair, no, but they've done the groundwork to get that in there. And so just like how Baron now is in the lead for Star Citizen, he's done the groundwork to get that going to this point. But there's always a bigger fish in the sea. And so even if you're a small streamer, there's going to be somebody who's bigger than you, who's doing better than you, that got in before you did. And it's not fair, no, but it's just the way it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone who laid the groundwork, like all of us take it serious. You got people who take this stuff serious and been doing it for a while, and you got the people who are just gonna hop on, do the bandwagon. Like you got Joe Schmoes uploading videos to YouTube who don't even do YouTube for a thing, and like getting like 10, 20,000 views. Like that's insane, and I couldn't get in. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. Someone else says that how does an NDA or how does any of this help at CIG? If you have someone who has no idea how to explain things well, or is let's be honest, a jerk. There are people out there who are jerks who are in part of this community.
Never.
I know. And they get access before a content creator. They may post a video on YouTube or live stream, and they may piss off the people who are watching, or piss off the people who make some comment or say something. And as a result, you have people who I think this is a statistic that's thrown out a lot in retail and in business, which is if someone has a good experience, they'll go and tell one person. If someone has a bad experience, they'll go and tell 3,000
people. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3-to-1 ratio is huge. So if you have a bad experience with Star Citizen, they'll go tell their friends not to bother with Star Citizen because it's full with a bunch of assholes. It's the Eve problem that like I say, it's like Eve is one of those situations where you either love it or you don't like it. And there's lots of people who love it. So there's probably 3 times as many people who hate it because of its community, because of the gameplay, all this kind of stuff. And it's partially because of how their content is handled. And how difficult the game is, but you don't want that kind of stuff happening with your games, because you want to make sure your content creators who are the most knowledgeable about the games are the people who are.
And we have a voice.
Games.
And we have a voice.
Thing is, like quickly, we do need to get to that caller.
Yeah, there's a poor caller sitting in here. I just saw that. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do your point.
Against myself is I see why CIG did it.
Yeah, me too.
They had the live stream. They wanted to get the content out there and people seeing it straight away. So I see why they did it. So I don't hold it against them. I just explained why initially I was salty.
Exactly. We kind of got over it now. All right. So caller, are you there, caller?
Hello.
Hello. Who's it? What's your name?
What?
What's your name?
Biohazard.
It's Biohazard.
What's up, dude?
I understand Gio didn't get into 2.0 PTO. All I want to say is if he messages me after StarCast, I'll give him access to my account so he can get some videos done for 2.0.
Nice guy.
Thank you, my brother. That'd be awesome.
Thank you, Bio.
This is why the Star Citizen community is awesome.
It is.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyway, just have fun with the rest of the cast.
Thanks, Bio. Have a good one, man.
We have one more caller as well.
We get another caller. Okay. Let's see. Other caller.
Patiently waiting.
Who is this patiently waiting? Thank you for patiently waiting, by the way. We got in a rant.
Hey, guys.
Who's this?
Biogen X2B. Yeah, I was going to say that regarding limited access, it has been pretty frustrating. I harken back to the social module. I rarely stream Star Citizen. I didn't know about Star Citizen until I saw Bad News Baron streaming it one time because Limpy had to be hosting him. He just happened to do it at that one particular day, and it caught on, and I've been interested, but sort of like from a distance, because I've had so many other games that I've wanted to get through, and I've been keeping an eye on it. When I did the social module, there were a lot of people that showed up that I had never seen before, and there were admittedly not that many people streaming it. But I don't think it was a limited release because I wasn't playing PTU. I was playing it on live when the NDA was lifted. And I was hoping to be able to do stuff for 2.0. But it's been exciting to be able to watch other people, like Bad News Baron, and I watched some of Bzerker and some of the other streamers on Twitch kind of experience this new content, but at the same time, it's just like I know that I want to be there with them, doing stuff together as a group, because I've been really excited about collaborative efforts. I've always wanted to stream with other people at the same time, doing stuff. Anybody who knows me and has seen any of the stuff that I try to do in the back end, I'm always trying to work towards group gaming. Basically, it's my one desire, and so I'm not impatient, but I'm really anxious to be able to get in, and I do hope that happens sooner than later.
They did say that a big chunk is coming in next, like a really large chunk is coming in.
And that's a good anticipation. It's good anticipation to have. And honestly, right now, it's kind of painful. I'm trying to play. If you're trying to orchestrate something with multiple people, one of you is going to crash every second.
Yeah,
it just isn't going to happen.
At least 90% of my stream today was a loading screen or my desktop. We didn't get 5 minutes of gameplay at any point.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's why I made my desktop my org image, because I'm like, here, you guys look at my org.
I streamed for 5 hours last night, and most of it was me in the the black screen where you got to choose the hangar and stuff like that. That was me for 90% of the time. Was just that. It's really not stable right now. You can't even get out of the station sometimes. Sometimes you get out of your bunk and it crashes. So that's how quickly it can crash sometimes. As I'm sure Domo is showing right now, the loading screen.
Yeah, what's going on right now in the background, everybody? If you have not seen any 2.0 play, that's why I am actually live right now playing 2.0, and you're going to see it's me opening and closing it a lot.
Oh, good. Now I can fap live.
You can. Oh, let's get. Thanks for calling in there, Bio.
Yeah, thanks, Bio.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here of 2.0. All right.
Or let's get the positive stuff.
Let's get the positive stuff. Yeah, because we did sort of go.
My first question.
Yes,
to
go.
you guys.
Yeah.
So, someone looking in the window. How is the gunplay? What does it remind you guys of? Any game, FPS game in particular? Like, what does it feel like?
The FPS shooters. I didn't get a chance to do that yet.
Yeah, this.
I very briefly shot someone.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You got to go.
I hit and I ran and I killed someone. Then later I got shot. It reminded me of a little bit of Battlefield. It reminded me a little bit of oddly enough, H1Z1.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. If it's in between that, then that's cool.
People are saying patch. Let me go patch.
I'm not getting armor from this.
It's hard to gauge right now though, because the main FPS area mission is after the initial mission, and it takes some luck and willpower to get through the first mission because of crashes. So if you make it far enough through the mission chain to get to the actual PvP station, which you can't actually access until you complete that first mission, you're lucky, and you probably won't have much time currently. Give it a couple of patches, we will be FPSing the crap out of it.
Oh, I'm sure in a couple patches we'll be like camping that station. There'll be entire orgs owning a station.
Yeah, definitely be some good camping.
It's gonna be good stuff. We just gotta wait for the stability. So first off, that's like the biggest negative I think about 2.0 is the stability. But let me just, if I can get in there and I'll show you. Walking out on that platform after you've got your ship selected, and you get to walk out there, and you just look up, and there's this great big gas giant, and you see the spinning wheels of the station. It's just like awe-inspiring. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Even before that, when you walk through, and there's that big window as you're heading out towards the smaller pads, and you can see the rings. And the first time I went there, and I saw a Connie fly past, and
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's when it does work, it's glorious and it's better than I hoped. The problem is when it does work, and to talk about like a larger streamer that's like thank God that Code didn't do this.
Yeah,
God, no.
Thank God.
He laid this thing.
I said before if you were in my stream channel, Derek Smart stopped by my stream earlier.
How did that go?
Like the real one, not the troll one who goes around Twitch, but the actual real one. And he linked on Twitter because he was using this display of the gameplay as an example for his arguments about why the game is failing, because it crashed into desktop every 5 minutes, and I hated being used politically as that example. If it had more exposure than it does right now, the people who are watching on Twitch are not really coming from outside of like other games and things. It's people coming from around the Star Citizen community to see this stuff.
Or people on the fence.
Yeah, if it was someone like Cole coming in right now, I think he would be frustrated with it. He wouldn't understand it, and everybody watching would be like, "What the hell is this crap?"
Mm-hmm.
This is why the NDA should have been in place.
Yes.
All this crash. That right there would have saved it. I know this is like a lot of pros and cons, but that right there is why NDA should have been put up for this.
And I'll be honest. I was messaging them saying, please don't do an NDA because I was so excited to do it like right then. I want, like, as soon as this goes live, I want people to be streaming this, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I had no idea that it might be this unstable.
Real quick before let me just interrupt real quick because Gio, what was the ship you're giving away tonight? Because I can get that started.
P-72 Archimedes.
P-72 Archimedes, fantastic.
LTI.
With LTI, woo, baby. All right, I'll get that thing started.
Hot sauce and mustard. So
with and hot sauce and mustard.
LTI too.
Okay.
Yeah.
P-72. Okay, continue on, guys. I just wanted to get that started.
Oh, and Derek Smart is my favorite developer. He's the best. And his critiques are so awesome. I mean, his game is so perfect to go off of. So I'm glad he got free. Baron.
Didn't Baron stream Line of Defense at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
he's the greatest developer, man.
It was amazing. It was an amazing stream. An amazing commentary. The gameplay itself was astounding. Astounding.
Can't believe it. I mean, I know he should know so much to fix this game. His is doing so good on Steam.
What do you want the keyword to be, Gio?
So
mustard.
Yeah, I get mustard. Go ahead. There you go.
Mustard. Yeah. So I got asked a question earlier, a really great question in my chat earlier when I was streaming this afternoon. They asked me what was so far the biggest wow moment in 2.0. So, about you guys, what was your biggest wow moment? For me, I'll start us off, was when I got into Covalex and I actually was able to play for about 8 minutes, 10 minutes or something. Got to Covalex, did some exploring, and inadvertently found that I thought it was a bed. I was trying to lay in the bed, but it was actually a recording laying there on the side of the bed that you can interact with. So I tried to get in the bed and it started this recording, and there was about a 2.5 minute audio clip, fully voice acted with multiple actors in there, and putting this whole backstory behind what's happening on the Covalex shipping center. And that couple of minutes, I was just astounded at the depth and quality. They didn't need to put that in the game. We're fine with like large world and flying around in spaceships and exploration of missions, but this detail they're adding in, it really goes the extra mile. And that was my biggest wow moment so far. It really took me aback.
Who's next?
How about you guys?
Bzerker.
Go ahead, Baron.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say my biggest moment was, and this may sound weird, was I jumped in with an Aurora into one of the comm stations, and immediately I heard the radio chatter. You know, first off, it's in the distance, and as I'm going up, I'm getting closer and closer and closer, and the station's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, I gotta slow down. It's like that moment in Elite Dangerous when you get closer to the station, you're like, holy, this is actually a station. This is big. And so I slow down, and then all of a sudden these things pop up, and I hear this, you know, we have this handled, civilian. Please step aside. This is security. And my first initial thought is, no, you don't. And then I realized that I immediately jumped in to fight these pirates, just not thinking about it. And like I jump in, I start fighting these pirates in an Aurora, and this hitting this other Aurora with this pirate Aurora, and it explodes in front of me, and I'm like, this is real. This is the PTU. Holy! I just blew up a pirate Aurora in the PTU. And it was just that whole the combination of getting, you know, quantum driving in, seeing the targets populate, hearing the AI, the NPCs be like, "Oh, nice shot there," you know, kind of thing, and then seeing like the results of all of that.
It's
even
just
though it crashed
like
5 minutes, like 2 seconds later, but it was like one of that kind of that moment of like, it feels like I'm in a game that I was promised 3-4 years ago. That was just kind of drop the mic, like, okay,
just
this
a glimpse.
Real. This is a thing.
Yeah.
Nice. Side note: who else overshot so hard the first time they tried to use cruise?
Oh my god! I freaking
Like so far,
like a mile. Baron,
Your
your wow moment, World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Man, as soon as you get outside, as soon as you look out the window, and you see the station and the planet in the background, it's amazing. It's so atmospheric. I would say there was 2 points where the gameplay really got to me, and I thought, oh my god, this is going to be fantastic. One was when I was in the station and I was fighting the guy. I could hear there was a ship flying around outside. I could kind of hear those engines going off. Space, whatever sound. And I looked outside, and there was this Gladius just sitting there. And I took a pot shot at it, and it fired missiles and blew up my ship on the landing pad, and then started firing missiles at me, and I got terrified, and I ran back inside going, no, I'm not gonna do this, no. And I hid for like 5 minutes waiting for him because I knew he was gonna come inside and try to kill me, and I stalked him out. The other one was when I ducked behind the wing of an Avenger that had just spawned, and I crouched there until the pilot came from the other side, lowered the gate, and got inside. And I snuck back around, and I got in the gate behind him in the open door. And when he got into the cockpit area, he didn't see me, and so then I closed the gate behind me, and we took off. And once I figured out that we were moving, I waited a minute, and I opened that lower hatch again to see space. And I saw that we were in quantum travel, and it was the most terrifying thing. And I thought I was going to die, and I wanted to cling for dear life because there was nothing between me and whatever the hell quantum space is, because I don't know what that is. It's just zipping by, and it was visceral, and it was real, and it was good.
Question is, was he surprised when he found you?
I think the game probably crashed, so I don't know.
I can't wait for the game not to crash for us to actually have those experiences of like me being a stowaway on like Domo's Connie the entire time. Did Domo's go around doing head checks? He's like, when did Bzerker get here or something like that? Like
a stowaway. We're gonna space him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
That first experience you was talking about, Baron, you got that on YouTube, right? Because I watched that today. Yep. That was epic.
So right here, guys, I am playing live right now. This right here was my oh my god moment. Walking out, looking at the constellation with the gas giant in the back, and then seeing the platform. Somebody's saying, I love the constellation because this is mine, right? And every time I put it out here, somebody tries to get in it. It's like a thing where I see people are always trying to get in the ship. I don't mind.
Everyone wants in the Connie.
Yeah, well, because it's multi-cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, I did find out it is completely possible to board a ship in space right now. Like you can.
Oh, really?
Once it's in space, I boarded a Connie that was floating just over the landing pad. Yeah. I actually managed to get through the side portals. I actually put a video of it on YouTube. Getting through the side portals and snuck my way in. And I think it despawned or something like that in the middle of it, but someone else spawned in a Connie right as it happened. So what it ended up being is I ended up inside someone else's Connie before they actually got access to the Connie. So they came into the ship, and I was just standing in the cockpit like, what up? As you could see, I could see them go, what? Like kind of like they just stood there for a moment, like, how does this guy in my cockpit? And then he's like, whatever. And he went to get in the cockpit and flew around, and I was able to get into like the multi-crew mode, like get some of the access systems and the turrets and stuff like that. But it was just one of those weird, like, I managed to board a ship and didn't pirate it. I don't know what I was doing.
It's a big thing.
What's funny about what Domo said, though, about like everybody wants to be inside that constellation. It's amazing how the backdrop of the station, the planets, changes your perception of the ships. I never wanted an Avenger until I saw one on the station. I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful. I nobody really cared much about the constellation. Everybody was so like jacked and excited about the Retaliator.
Right.
And now nobody cares about the Retaliator. It's all about the Connie. Everybody wants to get in the Connie.
Yeah.
Just now, there was too many people on the platform. I tried to hit to go up, and it crashed me.
Well, my favorite part was when I checked my email and I didn't get an invite. That was the best. But this feels so awkward. It feels like, your friends.
I know, Gio. I totally get it.
You're still the virgin. You're just sitting there like, yeah,
Oh man, I got laid last night, and this chick was so hot and big titties.
And
you're like,
you're so nice and ass, and it's just so awesome. You're like, yeah.
You're like, yeah. I saw a picture once. Yeah.
I fat,
It's and in reality, look, what we're saying is great, but it's one of those. None of us have had an experience where we can just sit down and be like, this is Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
This is Star Citizen. Because it crashes too much. So, like, even though we have this amazing feeling, it's like being on the first date 50 times.
And she's I said that, made that analogy too. She's opening up her shirt, she's undoing her bra, and just before the good stuff happens, oh God, I woke up.
I can't even get there. I can't even get the date.
Such a tease. Such a tease.
Sometimes it's better just to watch it than to experience it, because it's such a tease. You just get to the point like, I can experience something, and then no.
Oh, but such a tease though. Like all the small things, like the way your visor ices up as you go through the airlock, for example. It's those little details.
So many fine little details. I was showing somebody this the other day. Actually, I'll do it on the screen right now while we're talking. It's the Merlin, okay? I got the Merlin. You guys have seen the Merlin. For those of you guys who don't know, it's a ship that goes with the Constellation. It's a little snub fighter here, whatever. Little pretty ship. Now, I'm standing way back from it back here, okay? And I'm going to show you that we're going to do nothing but walk towards the ship here. Okay, so here we're walking towards the ship. We're looking at the engine area back here. And what's going to happen is we're going to get really close, and then we're going to look back here. And we're going to look. There are little stickers, and there's a J355 serial number on the thing. You can see the lock nuts, the lock wire on the bolts, and like the brass and all these little tiny little fine details that from even here you can't see. And that's just the attention to detail that this game has that I have not seen ever in other games.
Yeah, that is some detail.
So yeah, it's just beautiful
I feel like
stuff.
I can pull out a spanner and start taking that apart.
Exactly. You know, you got wires in here, caution, all this little stuff. It just
or a wrench if you're American.
Yeah, well, I got your spanner thing. I watch a lot of British movies.
It's also one of those things, like if you actually go inside like the Connie, you can actually see some things are labeled like avionics and engines and stuff like that. If you look at some of the details, like you can actually see where the piping is going. Like, if I shot this with a shotgun right now, you wouldn't be able to fly this ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So those are the placeholder panels. Those are actually where they're planning to put things. So, I mean, the detail put into the placeholder panels is crazy.
Yeah, it's good shit. It really is. Yeah, we got nothing else to talk about.
Yep, we're done.
Yeah,
no,
we're done.
Guys, remember, we have questions and answers. So if you like, you can actually just call in with a question. Or if you want, you can start doing the questions. Let's see, do we have any questions on the question sheet? We can get started with the Q&A time. We do.
You know what? I had some questions, but I forgot.
I was going to talk about the Mark Hamill stuff from the anniversary stream.
Yeah, let's do that. We didn't even cover the anniversary stuff, which just happened like 2 days ago. So let's go ahead and talk about the anniversary stuff real quick. Because we do have questions, but we can get to them in a minute. Go ahead with that there, Bzerker.
Okay, so for those of you who hadn't seen the anniversary stream, they showed off some more Squadron 42 stuff, specifically with Mark Hamill's character. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Man.
I know he's Old Man. I remember he's got
generic.
Yeah, he's Old Man.
Old Man Corbin, isn't it?
Old Man Corbin. I think it's things about like Rick Corbin or something like that. Steve Corbin.
His name should have been Blake. I think
Corbin.
Whatever. It should be Blake.
It should have been Blair. It really should have just been.
No,
Blair.
but I'm just saying
Gary
because
Oldman should have been Oldman.
No, but I'm just saying like a name that's similar to Blair but not Blair. You know, like Blake or Blandy or some kind of name that's really close. So it's just it's like an homage. You know, like the Raul Kilthy, which should be the cat race.
But they showed off some of the some more of the front of the Idris opening up to let the fighters out and showed. I mean, there's just like little details in that announcement that with his character that made me go, wow, this feels suddenly a lot more like a AAA title. Like, I mean, yes, when we first saw the speech, the speech about the going to war with the cool. That was great, but it felt really like this is great. That felt like a AAA teaser trailer. What we just saw with the anniversary trail feels like a character bio that you'd see on a Halo or a Call of Duty or a Mass Effect or like something you'd see Naughty Dog doing for a new character in the Drake series. Like that's what it felt like. It felt like it was an expose done, a professional expose done using in-game assets to try to hype the game a little bit more, which make it felt a lot more AAA. So that was pretty cool. I'm talking with my hands.
It's Steve Oldman Colton, by the way.
Steve Oldman Colton.
Is that an homage to Gary Oldman, or is it just Mark Hamill did? I mean, when I saw the pictures of the early shots of him in his Jedi outfit, this was like a year and a half ago when they first started like little press leaks and stuff were coming up for that. I was like, that's Mark Hamill. God, he's gotten old. You know?
At least they got rid of his beard in the in CG when they transferred his character over, because he looks a little bit more. He looks younger without the beard.
I like that his name is Steve.
His name's Steve?
Yeah.
In sci-fi, there's so often this convention of really, really ridiculous sci-fi names that have hyphens and apostrophes and they make no sense. And this guy's name's Steve.
Steve.
Thank you.
Steve Colton. That's
So
like
Colton is actually a pretty solid name. Colton sounds to me like something that who's the Escape from LA guy?
Snake.
Plissken, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of character could have a surname of Colton. But
Yeah.
Steve is superlatively normal.
It is.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like Joe.
Yeah.
Calling him
Joe
Joe.
Schmo.
Although I have a feeling that in the verse, if you go up to him and say, "Hey, Steve," he would punch you in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of surly guy.
Yeah. Well, they say he has the most lines out of the 700 pages of script.
Rightfully, he should.
Because he's with you the whole time. He's your mentor.
Guy? That's awesome. Because he was what got Chris Roberts going with Wing Commander 3 and 4.
He's also apparently what Chris Roberts got with this one, because he in his interview he said that he was given an early copy of the script before they even started hiring, and he said basically, yes, I'm going to do it. But
That's fantastic.
He went through the script with Chris Roberts and the writers and tried to work out some of the stuff. And with someone like that, you know, Hamill is a veteran, and everyone remembers him from Star Wars, but he's worked on so many animated series.
He was Joker
throughout the years. He was a Joker. He's been done so many different voice acting and voice work that he knows what a good voice acting script looks like. It's very different from a stage play or from anything else. When you're doing animation or video games, it requires a very different touch to doing lines, because often it can turn into the BioWare. Not the BioWare. I'm sorry. The Bethesda voice acting, which is good, but it's like, did you really just say what I think you said in that tone? Like that's so stilted, you know. And so you have to, do it right. And it's something like Hamill being attached to that. Even just looking over the scripts is an amazing process.
I mean, I think there's a lot of the performance acting part, the performance capture, that really helps with that, because a lot of the voice acting, it's people in a noise shielded room reading lines, and then trying to react to other people who are doing it on their own in different noise shielded rooms. They're not really acting together. And with the performance capture, that probably helps a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're all wearing weird skin tight suits.
Yeah.
Well, you did point it out. It's very equalizing. I mean, you've got people who are, stars on A-listed movies, and then with people who are maybe B actors in TV show, together in this series or in this thing, but they're all wearing the same things. They're not gilded up. They're all looking exactly the same as each other. So it's more kind of equalizing.
Yeah.
As someone who's done theater, I minored in theater when I went to college. That's one of those important things to emphasize, especially in any kind of production, is that everyone is equal. Because if you have everyone is equal, then everyone feels like they're doing stuff. So
I'm now picturing Bzerk in tights, and it's not pretty.
You do not want to see me in tights. I am not a good person to put into tights. Let me put it this way: when there was plays that called for tights, I was usually the stagehand. I was not the actor.
Tights.
Tights.
So what Domo said that I thought, and this is fun. Okay, so he said that Mark Hamill looks old, and he does. He looks like his name's Old Man, but he looks like an old man. He looks like he's and Gary Oldman the same way. When we saw him in the interview, he was speaking slowly. He looked like he wasn't quite sure what he was going to say next. It looked like Grandpa kind of needed to go to the home. him and Hamill kind of both in their interviews, and then they showed the footage of them actually when they're acting, and they'd rise 5 inches, and they're all over the place, and they have energy and movement, and they are fast, and they're speaking strong, and it's like a completely different people. It's so cool to see.
It's a professional.
Actors,
it's a professional.
They are really good actors.
Yeah. Acting.
That right there.
Acting.
I believe Fluffy has taken over your.
Yeah, you have become Fluffy.
It's because he had such a glorious green screen.
What are you using to?
the key.
That's cool. That's right. It's not Skype. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, Skype was acting too retarded.
over your shoulder. Okay. All right. So was that it for the thingy?
I mean, there's lots of other really cool things. I don't know if anyone else wanted to bring up anything else. I mean, there was the character pipeline. There was the some 2.0 teasing, but we already got to that. From the live stream, they talked a little bit more about where things were going to be going in the future and the stuff they've been working on, especially with the Austin team. But I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think it was more stuff, and I was super hyped for all the stuff during and after the live stream, but a day of 2.0, my brain is completely wiped of anything.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I'm paying so much attention to that. I haven't paid attention to that.
What did you guys think about the Crucible? Because that shit was
good point.
Thought it was going to look like. I had a whole nother picture in my head of what it was going to look like, and it's completely different.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be some sort of like small industrial thing with tons of scaffolding around it, not like a not like a crab.
Yeah, I do like that you can attach an entire workshop garage to it.
Oh yeah, that's what that big long portion is. So
yeah,
it's a crab that runs around carrying a bucket of Tupperware, saying, "Hey, get inside, I'll fix you."
Yeah,
pretty much like a cleaner.
Crab that can go 360. By the way.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna send this in chat. I thought it was gonna look like this, or I'll put it in our chat.
Where is it? I have a picture of it. I just can't seem to find it. I had it all ready.
But yeah, no, it's a good role-based ship, but it is a lot bigger than anticipated. And also drones.
What she said.
Hey.
Yeah.
Not often enough, I'm afraid.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go for just a second here. Somebody needs
God damn it! I keep getting my messages deleted in chat.
Gio, you just gotta subscribe. No, I will fix it. Can you guys get started with the Q&A? I have to leave for just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, if somebody wants to get started the Q&A, I'll be right back.
Also, there is a phone number above me right now. If you want to call in.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have the link to the questions?
No, he didn't share that.
Nice going, Domo. Oh, anyway, so that too. If you guys were looking for an LTI placeholder, the P72 is probably the cheapest LTI route that you're going to ever get. So rack up on them, because that's what I did. I just racked up on a few. I'm going to finally have my LTI merchantman. So if you guys ever wanted it, make sure you pick up that $30 ship.
Yeah, so that's the thing, that you can buy it and then cross chassis or just upgrade up to a different ship and maintain the LTI part of the package.
Definitely cross chassis. So like I said, if you have any on your radar, just buy a couple of those.
That said, LTI isn't the be all and end all, so don't stress too much if you don't have it.
But I'm a dirty little LTI whore, so I love it.
Oh, I kind of like it because I generally forget to do things like insure ships, and it means I don't have to worry about it.
It's a collector thing. It really is. You gotta have them all with LTI. It doesn't matter how many times Jared rolls his eyes and says for the millionth time, "It's seriously, you guys. It does not matter. It's not gonna affect anything. This is such a stupid point. Stop it, community." I don't care how many times Cisco Lando says that. I still want LTI because
you know what's funny? One of my subscribers thinks it's pay to win because he said because you could save so much money in game over the time, and everyone else who has to keep paying, you're saving all that money, so you get a better savings in game. So you're probably getting like an extra 30,000 UEC credits compared to them that they have to spend on insurance. Wow. And yeah, it's
that'll buy you like a rifle and some ammo.
I don't know, man.
All right, so I found a link. I actually have StarCast links up near the Q&A stuff. So I'll read some of the questions out. I'll post this in our chat real quickly so you guys can see it.
Ooh, there we go.
So the first one is Port Olisar named after Lisa Ohanian. Discuss. I don't know.
How?
Lisa. Lisa.
Oh, I get you. Oh, Lisa.
Yeah, like it's reversed. It's like Olisar. It's like almost like it's a reverse of Ohani, like the beginning of her last name and her first name.
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know who that character is in there, so
it'd be a nice tribute if it was, but it's probably been written a long while ago.
Yeah, it's probably written a long time ago. I don't think so.
I think it was written before Lisa was even there because she was only there for a short time.
She was there for a couple of months, and then she left.
6 months at tops.
No, she was like 3.
She was there less than that. That's why I said I'm not sure. I knew it was under 6 months though.
People remember her because she was so important to the community team, but you know.
Yeah. But there's a nice conspiracy link. Thank you, Illuminati.
It's just like Star said, like they actually made the bartender in ArtCorp after me, you know, because I always wear. Yeah, that's totally happened. Truth.
They're gonna base a factory work off me. I got the gear and everything. I'm gonna be a factory consultant for them. All you do is gotta hit me up. They could pay me in chips, you know.
I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody.
Oh hell no! Now he back. Oh no.
I'm back.
You forgot to link the question, so I managed to find it back in my.
Oh,
my
you
drive,
did? You got it? Okay. So have you started them?
I started with the first one. I'm on the second one.
Okay, cool.
Now CIG have said that they are allowing pre-orders soon of $149 HOTUS. Will any of you guys pre-order or wait until others have reviewed it? I think part of, at least what I'm going to do is I'm going to order at least the cheaper one and review it because I think it's part of what I'm supposed to do as a content creator. But I don't know about the rest of you guys.
We're talking about the HOTUS?
Oh, I'm definitely. Well, I'm not pre-ordering this one. I'm waiting for the $500 one. That's the one I want. I don't want these. I want the high-end sticks.
They're gonna be $500.
Yep, that's what they said on Reverse the Verse. They said it was gonna be from like 500 or 550 and up, around that range.
Yeah, that's the one that's based on the X65.
Yep,
with the touch screen and all the rest of it.
And that's where the new UI goes in with that new, with the joystick. Now I can see where the touch screen would go in.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I have such I don't like Mad Cats.
I don't either,
because
man.
they make terrible things, but because as a company they are shady as hell in the way that they handle their community interactions. They just lie to people. They lie.
Well, what are you saying that from, Baron? Because I mean, I have never dealt with them, so I'm just curious.
It's their PR stance every time it's not that they're being super malicious. It's just that they're so out of fashion with how to engage with people. Whenever when they came on Reddit initially, as an example, to promote the Star Citizen joystick, and we had some representatives there. People were asking because they were very curious about the past quality control issues that people have had with SciTech sticks since they were acquired by Mad Cats. The quality control has been kind of bad. X55 launched with lots of problems. The X52 has been plagued with problems through production. And people said, "What have you learned from from those sticks? What are you going to change when you're making these so that those sort of issues don't crop up again?" And they've said, "We've never had an issue with our sticks. There's never been a reported problem with the SciTech product. Our sticks perform exceptionally well, and that's just flat out false. It doesn't happen." The internet is full of people, especially about the SciTech stick, explaining how they break down over time, about how they really aren't made to last. There's some cheap interior components. Even the X52 Pro is the exact same stick as the X52, but it just got some metal parts on the outside that doesn't matter.
I have the X52 Pro, and exactly that. The reason I got the Warthog now is because my X52 broke, and I had to glue it together.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, Demo, I think we have a caller, so you might want to.
Oh, hey, caller, I'll put you on hold. Just hang in there. We'll get you in just a second.
And their controllers, every time I bought a third-party controller, they were shit.
So that is worrisome. They do make okay products from time to time. Like I think their yoke is pretty good, but their yoke doesn't probably go through as much abuse as their joysticks do.
I know Baron had the same problem I did. This is what I have left of my X52 right here, because my stick, the twist broke. So
exactly what happened with mine. Yeah,
and exactly
you guys are a little too hard on your stick. I think that's the real problem.
The thing is that SciTech is not designed.
You twist the thing. You twist and you move it. And
it's not designed. It's not being designed for.
It's not meant to be twisted that hard.
No,
you don't twist your stick
that
hard.
long. It falls off. It goes limp.
Use a little more lube. If you lubricated it a little bit better, it wouldn't be so abrasive.
Lube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ultimately, for the price point, I mean, the quality is probably about what you can expect. But I mean, for there's not a whole lot on the market. If you're trying to get an entry level HOTUS, what are you going to get? You're going to get the T-Flight, which kind of looks like crap, or you're going to get the X55. I mean, there's not a whole lot of play that you can go through. I mean, when people ask, I recommend two Thrustmaster joysticks and doing dual sticks, but it's just I want so badly to like their products and I want them to improve, but I can't have any faith that they can improve until they acknowledge their problems, and until that happens, I can't recommend them. I'm curious about the Star Citizen stick. Especially the Source the force sensing one, if it's based on the X65, I'll probably try to pick up a stick or have one sent to me. That way I can review it. But other than that, like, yeah.
I don't like those force sensing ones because those feel like they're gonna break to me because I want the stick to move.
Ooh, pushing on it, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna snap off because I go hard in the barrel rolls and stuff.
Call a doctor with that one. You can't twist it at all.
Exactly. Giggity-goo. All right, let me. I guess we can go on to our next one here.
Caller.
Oh, the caller. Yeah, caller. Sorry, caller. Go ahead, caller. Who's this?
Hey, it's DAC Repair.
Hey, Dak.
Hey, Dak.
Hey, so first of all, I'm very disappointed with the amount of noodle, or I should say lack thereof, in this so far. But no, as Baron knows, I'm pretty salty about SciTech, and after hearing about the...
Who are you?
I don't know if you want to call it... It's DAC Repair. The only person talking about noodles. But
he just landed.
But,
that's all.
yeah, I know. Sorry. But no, after hearing about all this SciTech stuff, I've been like very much less than enthusiastic because I know when a lot of people were talking about buying the 55, which was sort of a new thing back when I really started first playing both Elite and Star Citizen very heavily, I was really disappointed with its quality, and I actually sent it back 3 times, and I haven't been able to get one that's good. So,
Did you get it when it first came out?
It was around Christmas last year, actually. So it was probably right around that time, but I don't know. I've just been feeling real salty about the whole SciTech stuff recently, and after hearing about the new Star Citizen like joystick sort of deal, I've been less than enthusiastic about looking at it. But that's not to say, you know, they might, because it's a like a partnership sort of thing, it might have like some more stringent quality control.
Especially with Chris Roberts being involved.
Even though I'm not really that interested in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If they go back to their old SciTech ways, like before Mad Catz bought them, like this is a chance for Mad Catz to make a comeback with SciTech. If they make sure they make this stick very strong and make sure it doesn't break and it's high quality, especially the $500 one. I don't know about the 150 one because you're getting close to like the X55 range. And like I said, I'm not too fond on the quality of the plastic. I really wanted some metal to sit on my desk because sometimes if you fly too hard or play too hard with the stick, it shakes all over. So giggity. But yeah, if they make it a very high quality, this could be their comeback, and they listen to the community. This will be the comeback.
Well, it's SciTech, or not SciTech, specifically Mad Catz has had a history of listening to the community well enough and changing things around. I believe CIG like to bring this up a lot, but the professional pro-grade Street Fighter fighting sticks, which is the old kind of arcade style, you have the sticks and the buttons, everything like that. Those sticks that you can get, those peripherals you can get, are used exclusively, almost exclusively for professional bouts. And the ones that there's lots of companies that make them, but the company that's almost exclusively used by every one of the Street Fighter kind of professionals is the Mad Catz version, because they're ridiculously well made. They're really long lasting. I'm sure they're expensive, but they're very well, like they've got great quality control. So it could be something to do with SciTech and stuff, but that's the reason why I want to get it. It's just because I want to review it for people who don't want to spend $150 on a stick that breaks in 6 months.
Well, to be fair, they said SciTech and Mad Catz were the only ones willing to go like above and beyond to make what they wanted. Everybody else just want like to slap a sticker on what they already have and just a little logo on there. And Mad Catz actually listened, like, okay, you guys want this, the OLED screen. Everybody else was kind of like, we're kind of good.
I think the issue is SciTech, not necessarily Mad Catz. SciTech, since it was acquired by Mad Catz has had poor quality assurance issues. This is a chance for SciTech or Mad Catz to take its subsidiary SciTech to actually to kill all of these rumors, and this is the only chance they're going to get.
But that's another red flag to me, just the fact that they were like, yeah, sure, whatever you want, we'll do it. Doesn't matter. You want to put a trackball on there? Sure, whatever, we'll do it. It doesn't matter. if all the other companies that they approached, because they did approach a few others, we're like, wait, you want what? You know how long this is going to take to develop in QA and make sure that it doesn't break.
This does not be. This is not a problem for Chris Roberts.
Yeah, if you think about though, if I'm a stick maker and I know you have people out here spending thousands of dollars on quote unquote JPEGs, if some dummies would say, I would definitely be investing. I'll say I'm going to make the best stick I can make, and I know they're going to buy it if I make a high quality, nice stick setup. So that's what they need to think about.
Or Geo, they could say, we'll just sell the crappiest piece of shit to these guys because they're going to pay a lot of money for it anyway. And yeah,
that's another double-edged sword. Right. Like I said, if you want to kill because I know one thing, if the community doesn't like this, they're going to hear, because our citizen community will say something. They're not going to be quiet, and it will be the end. It'll be Armageddon.
It'll be the end of SciTech if that happens. Yeah. And honestly, the only people who buy SciTech products are people who are enthusiasts for sims and like space games right now. And with the revival of space games, if you literally take a dump all over Star Citizen with the with the stick, you're going to feel the backlash. You're going to feel the backlash as a result.
Now is the time. Like with the last couple of days shown the immense appetite that is sitting there waiting for Star Citizen, with the Elite Horizons coming out around the corner, with all these awesome games where people are going to want to buy a stick. Now's the time to get it right.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
This boat, man.
Is one of the things is like SciTech. When was the last time they made like a new model joystick besides the X65, which was sort of it's meant to be sort of an answer to the Warthog because the stuff is coming back. SciTech has never really introduced like a ton of stuff. Logitech never really introduced a ton of stuff. CH, God knows, CH hasn't made stuff in forever.
And Mamba, I mean, like, I don't remember the company that makes the Mamba. I think someone else will correct me. The black Mamba.
VKB. So VKB makes the Mamba, and I would say of all these companies, they're actually doing something new in terms of technology going into the joystick.
Right, CH still uses the same plastic that they used back when I first started getting into Sims back in the 80s.
That's a damn shame.
But the thing is,
it's still high quality, so it doesn't break. It's just cheap.
But VKB, the problem with VKB is that VKB is like two dudes in a garage, kind of compared to
Russia.
In Russia. Two dudes in a garage and a bear in Russia somewhere,
Bear.
Lots of vodka and hopes and dreams is what they make their stuff out of.
To be fair, though, so is the Crosswind pedals, and those are revered as the highest quality pedals you can get. The VKB stuff, and the people who own them, they're regarded as superior to even the Warthog. Like
they are so much better. But the problem is that how are you going to get them to commit to building a entirely new joystick?
You can't mass produce. They don't have the facilities to.
They don't have the facilities to do it, which is the reason why I'm sure they talked with them. And I remember Jared and a lot of other of the community team talking about their discussions with stick makers and why they chose SciTech. And they said SciTech's the only company out there that can make decent high quality in high numbers. Those are the two things they need.
And the price range,
the price range.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering like how much of a percentage, because like I said, the Warthog is what, $500 right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, if it has to be on that quality. Period. And I know that Star Citizen got to get their chunk. I wonder what percentage they're going to get off how many of these get sold and how much percentage that SciTech is going to get. Like all that kind of stuff is.
I'm sure it's a licensing thing. Like they pay Star Citizen a certain amount of money, or the CIG a certain amount of money, so to use the Star Citizen logos.
Okay.
I'm sure that's how it works. I'm sure that they get all the money.
Okay, it has to be on the Warthog level. Period. I'm not trying to look for nothing. For $500, it needs to be on that level.
Well, if it's got the OLED display, it's actually be above the Warthog. But
yes.
Let's move on. We got quite a few more questions. We get on.
We also have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller. Let's go to the caller then. Go ahead, caller. What's your name and what are you wearing?
My name's Chris. I'm wearing a long sleeve T-shirt.
Excellent. Go for it, Chris. It's hot.
I had a friend that was interested in the game, and he saw the Crucible first, and he was pretty interested in it. But he asked about the repair as a whole. If everyone has LTI or insurance, what's the point of repairing a ship if you could just kamikaze it, or how quickly you can get your ship back?
That's a good question.
Of repairing?
Good question. You want to take it there, Mr. Flint?
I will take a stab at answer for that.
All right.
So basically, even though your ship is on LTI, there is a limit on availability of ships for a start. So when your ship gets blown up, you're not going to immediately get the new ship. You're going to have to go back to the station, and they're going to have to ship you a new ship. If there's not one available in the local area, that might take some time. You could be out of ship for a while. Also, the LTI only covers the hull of the ship. It doesn't cover the guns and equipment, things, mods you've added to it, the cargo. All that has to be insured separately. So you got to worry about replacing all of that stuff. And again, getting all the things to replace it, maybe you'll have to fly around to find the guns because they're not available locally in the system you're in. Availability is always going to be a thing. As for the repairs going to cost you. It's not just a magic, hey, it's repaired. You need to, as seen in the repair thread, you've got to take all the materials to mix them together to actually be able to do the repairs, the 3D printing type thing. So all that's going to take time, going to take effort. You're going to have to get the resources to be able to do it. So it's not really free. It's going to take time, effort, and in-game work, even with the LTI. The LTI just means you don't have to go and buy a brand new hull.
That's what you get is the hull, yeah. It's like if you bought a car that you had souped up with all kinds of add-ons, and you have nitrous and turbos and shit like that, and the thing blows up, you're gonna go get the base Honda and start over again. That's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and from what I gathered from it, it's not going to be. Well, I think it may be able to fix it all the way, but it may be like a quick fix to get you back up and running in space instead of waiting for like an hour for your insurance. Yeah. To get you another ship. You could get right back on the battlefield right there. It's like if you guys are in a convoy, you have a crucible to sit here and repair you guys instead of you're gonna have to wait for your insurance claim. You're not gonna get it just like that. You're gonna need a repair ship. So that's why that's there. And then if you find a derelict ship, if you have a crucible, you're gonna be able to say you find a lucky big bangle. If you don't have a crucible, you're not gonna be able to. I don't think you're gonna be able to get that unless you have
no
to get it back up and running.
Also, the thing about it is that it'll be easier to repair in some cases than it will be scrap. And so if it's easier to repair than scrap, then you repair it. If it's easier to scrap than repair, if it's using an auto term, if it's totaled, if your ship is totaled, then you're just going to eject and just find a new ship. Mm-hmm. But if there's a hole in the side of your Connie, you're not going to just come like blow it up because like there's a hole in my Connie, I'm done, boom, I'm exploding, because then it's going to take time.
Yeah, and then we've also got the flip side as well, right? So if you're in space and you're highly damaged, you don't repair it, I think I'm just going to blow up my ship and then go get a new one. What happens to you? Are you going to get out of the ship, float around in space, or are you going to get blown up in the ship and die? Bearing in mind that dying is a big thing, right?
Yeah, if you die, big thing. It'll cost you money because you have to pay the kind of the repair cost on yourself when you wake up, and you could be that could be your last.
Could be your last life. Death of a spaceman.
You end up having to pay like 10% death tax on everything you own in order to transfer it to your new character.
You're gonna have an oxygen system. Right now, you're good. You're gonna have an oxygen. Once you get ready to ship, you're gonna be floating out. Then you're gonna have to call someone to come get you.
And pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, if you decide not to do it, you have to get rescued, which is going to cost money and take more time than it would be to.
So you'd be fucked any way it goes. Period.
Yeah, I would definitely rather limp home and get it fixed myself.
Yeah.
So. All right, next question. Are you? Let's see. Okay, a while ago, Sig talked about doing something special for reaching the 100 million mark. What would you guys like to see happen? What items would you like to get as a thank you, or do you think we should be happy with what we're getting an amazing game and leave it at that? That's from Medieval. Hookers? You want to see space hookers and blow?
Those would be cool. I mean, they don't owe us anything.
Mm-mm. No,
they're just giving us a great game. That's all we need. But hookers and blow would be cool.
Yeah.
Now, in all honesty, I think one of the things they could learn from is just the trophy system. I mean, just having a little nice little plaque in your you can put in your ship or you can put in your hangar that you can, when your friends or when you meet somebody new in the game and they've just gotten the game, they come by and you can show them the plaque and they'll be like, oh, well, that looks cool. Oh, you're one of the original backers. Like, yeah, I've been here forever. Like something that distinguishes you as being one of those people who was there before everything, before it was cool, that hipster kind of thing. But it's one of those like the nice little homages, nods, like you were the ones who made this happen. That kind of thing would be cool.
It would also be kind of cool to have a one night only or like 1 weekend only open time in the Million Mile High Club to have a celebratory party.
That would be really cool.
It's a really good idea.
Million Mile High Club.
Just everybody in it. Clifford's the only person I know who's in there.
It's like a little free $20 type Merlin or something for all the people who got in before 100 million. I think that'd be cool to me. Like something that wouldn't cost them that much money, and everyone had like that
paint
one
job.
little chip, you know?
Paint job would be cool.
Job.
Like a gold
$100 million paint job.
Gold paint job, yeah. dollar bills, y'all.
It's just a completely gold paint job for your ship.
Hey, now here's my question to you guys. All this money they had. Now, let's just say, because people say, oh, it's too much features, too much that. What if they didn't use all that money they had towards this game? Like, what would they want them to do with the rest of that money they would make?
Hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow.
I don't understand people complain like, oh, they make this much money and they're doing all these features. What do you guys want them to do with it? They're using the money towards the game. I don't understand it.
Well, honestly, if they
a
have
little
that
hula
100
doll.
million,
A little hula doll.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
There's so many little things. They don't have to come in and give us a ship. They don't have to give us anything. If they could just, like a tiny little thing that is just like a slight nod, they've already got a lot of those things anyway. So if they don't give us anything, if they're just like, hey, congratulations, 100 million, we're just going to, I don't know, have a live stream or something like that. I don't care. I mean, just let them make the game.
I just want a Chris Roberts bobblehead.
Raises for everyone. Yeah, raises for everyone in the company. That'd be great.
They're working weekends. Come on. The game developers get paid crap.
yeah, they do.
Not only do game developers get paid crap, but the developers in Star Citizen get paid horribly compared to normal
Not horribly, but yeah, not up to standard. And also, they crunching in game dev is a big strain on the team, and CIG crunch a lot. They're working all this weekend crunching on getting this ready for us to release. There's a lot of crunching going on with the Star Citizen team, so send them all on vacation. I don't care.
Yeah, they're busting their ass right now, definitely.
Oh, everyone's hanging outside of my Connie again. They're all gonna. I've yet to fly this thing, by the way.
Give them the hookers and below is what we're trying to say. Give them the hookers.
Yeah,
and below.
Hookers and below and raid. Honestly, they need that. Because my job, we just lost our raise because the idiots who voted the contract, it was a sellout contract. I wanted a raise, and I got a shitty raise. So I think a good raise would be good for them.
I just saw a Scythe take off. Oh, come on, you guys. Jesus Christ, man. All the other ships you can just get in by yourself. This one, you guess you got to take people. Oh, I'm going up.
People aren't really flying the Retaliator like that. Everyone's flying the...
I don't think there's a Retaliator in yet.
It's not?
Oh, it's in.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen it.
It's the Retaliator. It's just that everybody has fallen in love with the constellation because it's so gorgeous when you actually see it in the game.
So one of my crew, Dark Star, told me earlier that he actually blew up a Retaliator outside of Alisar earlier today. I think it was in like an Aurora or something. It was hilarious.
So let me ask you guys this.
Pay to win.
I'm flying this thing. I'm the pilot. What are these other guys going to do? Just ride around with me?
Yeah, make sure they've sat down before you take off.
No, that's okay.
They can affect your engineering and power and everything like that. So they can actually change your power settings and your shield settings. They can like say, you can say, all right, more power to weapons, and they can change that. You can say,
yeah.
right.
Or they can say, Troll says no. Where's your engine gone?
Well, that's what I tried to do yesterday, and I ended up crashing out. But no, actually, I think I was able to do it for just a minute. Is I was in somebody else's Retaliator. I was hiding in the back. I got the control center in the middle, and I was just screwing with his power settings while they were flying, and they didn't know what was going on.
I see that dude just sitting in your front seat.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
I thought it was no gravity or some shit.
I think I smacked into something because I got a couple of red spots on my. I'm used to
Q drive.
I'm used
still up you Q drive. Do it now.
Q drive right now. Right now, Q drive.
Do it now.
Shoot in the middle.
We got nothing. We're not aiming at anything. Hold on.
Just do it.
Hurry up.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Shia LaBeouf that shit. Do it now.
Do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
We're the worst backseat gamers. We're the worst backseat gamers.
We are. We're all rooting. This is. I'm now feeling what all the people watching this our collective streams today are feeling.
Yeah.
I'm just willing the game to work long enough for him to Q drive.
All right, don't rub it in too much, goddammit.
Oh, and there we go.
Did it crash?
It blew up. Yeah, it crashed.
Spoilers.
The game.
I'm watching the stream 30 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed before it happens.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's gonna blow up here.
Oh, he's in Q driving. Okay.
Oh,
and it crashed.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I got to say I flew the Connie. So it worked.
You did.
All right, let's move on here. Let's get to some questions here.
That's purdy.
All right. This is a strange question because I have not seen this. What do you guys think? Are you surprised with a lack of blatant trolling going on in the PTU, ramming, murdering, blocking, etc.?
Oh, that's going to happen.
We haven't people have been playing long enough. Once people start playing and get the idea after the first couple of hours of play, then they'll start doing that. It'll happen.
It started happening today.
Has it already started happening today?
Oh yeah. So there was
Barrett smirks. I'm like, Barrett, what are you doing? What have you been doing?
It was only one dude once, and it lasted all of like maybe 10 minutes that I was in the same guy. Okay. So yesterday there was a bug, and they fixed this mercifully, where if you were trying to call in your ship, sitting at those computers, and someone ran into you and pushed you out of the way, it would crash everything. There was one guy, it would crash your client. And there was one guy who every time I went to the computer, he would like slam into me, and he kept doing it over and over and over again, trying to get me to crash out.
How can you say it was
he didn't
you,
know
though?
it was fixed, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, right now there's no consequences. Once the real universe goes up, when there's insurance and your ship goes and people die and it's permadeath, all that's going to change. Right now it's like recess and everyone can act a damn fool and nothing happens. There's no consequence.
There's no consequences right now, and I'll be the first one to say that if you see an Aurora and you see my name somewhere, Bzerk somewhere, run away, because I'm gonna run smack dab into you probably.
Oh yeah, I know I'm on a troll. Just like I just run people.
Oh, you're the retaliator. I have a guided missile. Goodbye. You know.
And you die.
My guided missile of me in my Aurora.
So I have not been seeing that. Everyone's been really cool in the game, but it's like people are saying in the audience, it's hard to troll somebody when the game doesn't stay up more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like once people have gotten the couple hours in and they actually manage to.
I mean, everyone is so focused on just trying to play right now.
Right, just rushing to get to their ship before they crash.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Opening up some soda. Okay, next question. Actually, no, I read that question wrong. Are you surprised at the lack of trolling? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I read that.
Because there isn't.
Yeah, there isn't really.
But,
yeah, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I think everyone's pretty, because we're all testers too. We're more interested in doing that. Okay. Next question.
Testers, I'm not.
Salt. The salt is flowing through you.
Salt is real.
Is the P-52 P-72's potential wasted by not having quantum drive? Wouldn't it be better
it has a quantum drive.
Oh, it does. I didn't know that.
It doesn't have a jump drive.
Oh, okay, but it's got quantum.
That's why that one actually comes with LTI then, and the Merlin didn't. Okay, that makes sense now.
It can't go outside of systems, but it has quantum drive.
Yeah.
So
use it as like a little shuttle.
How do you feel now that 2.0 is out? Will we see quicker, smaller updates?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once 2.0 is stable, definitely, but we should see incremental additions, definitely.
Yeah.
By quick, we're talking every
two weeks,
couple
maybe
months.
a month. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
for features, every kind of month or two, at least. For actual updates, I mean, they're not going to update the main like super regularly because they don't introduce like crazy bugs. But we'll probably see a main live patch every couple of weeks. Makes sense, and then you feature every month, 2 months.
How long did they patch? Because I know it was pretty quickly. I think it was like. Baron may be able to help me with this one because he was playing Ring Commander a lot longer than I have. Did they patch pretty quickly after 0.8, right? There was like about a month after that they released 0.9 and then iterations on that.
Yeah, and that was before they had their new patching system in.
Yeah, so now that they have more people and better patching, they can patch a lot better and faster. So with quality content too. So.
Well, that's. I mean, they've probably got a lot of content that's prototyped or is almost there. That's just waiting for 2.0 for it to be integrated with, like things like the voxel asteroids for the mining system, for the salvaging system, for the repair system. These are the things we will probably see coming in a pretty quick cadence.
Yeah, I love the drink making system for the Genesis Starliner.
Oh yeah. You know what sounded cool was the
that's me. I'm just gonna be sitting there making my space martinis for.
That was a shaker. That wasn't anything more. Okay.
Type in drink my beer. Exclamation point question if you'd like to ask a question.
You know, on Temperature Chairman, it sounds like we're getting close to like procedural generated planets and going planet side. What Chris said. I don't know if that's what it is, but he's real excited. He couldn't say too much about it, but
they are just going to crush the other games, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like I said. Acquiring Crytek, it's only reason that Crytek team, if we didn't acquire them, like everything just falls in place perfectly at the right time when they got them. Like it's amazing.
It was perfect timing.
Perfect. Couldn't get any better. That's why I think like now it may actually come out next year, looking at how the PTU is out and how they add all this stuff.
I mean, right now it's a question of content. I mean, once they've gotten the systems out, it's a question of content, which can take some time. I mean, it doesn't.
We're getting core feature content. The procedural planets, as they talked about, I wouldn't expect that until next year.
I wouldn't expect it until after launch, honestly.
No. So they've already hinted that they're possibly going to be able to share something in the new year, which is going to be a massive improvement over their current plans for landing on planets. Current plan being you fly to the planet, you request permission to land, then you go into automated control and it flies you down. It's seamless, but you don't have any control. They hinted that they're close to being able to have the tech to, in the new year, be able to tell us about having a better way of doing that, which hints towards manually controlled landings. And manually controlled landings will, by necessity, include procedurally generated planets.
Yep.
Because
like Infinity Battlescape, right? Like how you just seamlessly
or now Space Engineers, which does that too.
Yeah. So it needs it just to be able to develop the backdrop, but also us as gamers, if we're manually flying down to the landing pad over to the right, we're going to turn left and see how far we can fly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
it's the D&D problem. Like if you give your players too much freedom, they're gonna
wander all over the place.
Opposite of what you want.
That's happened to me so many times. You give somebody, give somebody that option, and you're like, okay, got to get everybody together at the tavern, but I'm going to give them a little bit of a story to play with, and then they just go off in every freaking direction. Like, no, guys, we got to get to the tavern.
What's that dude in the corner doing? It's like, what? The dude that's a random NPC I made like 2 seconds ago just to give the flavor to the bar.
Right.
Yeah, but I want to see what he's doing. And then you eventually go off in this drunken bender with this dude you just came up off the top of your head and end up fighting a dragon somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like okay, great.
That's
how this game works.
That's how gamers
That's how gamers work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, no matter what era you're in, we will try to break the game.
So, Captain Flint, you're a developer, a software developer, a game developer. Why is it so difficult to do a ship flying from space to land? What's the challenge there that's making it so tough?
So there's a couple of challenges just doing that in general. So the procedural generation is the first thing. So making a procedural generation engine that builds terrains that make sense. That's the biggest thing. You can procedurally generate most things, but to make it feel, organic and make sense, that's difficult. Also streaming technology, because you're going from one zone where the planet's like this object, and as you fly into the planetary zone, you have to seamlessly stream in the new assets. You have to change the resolution of the terrain itself and do it in a way that doesn't pop. When we've seen other games where it has older LOD systems, things pop.
Right.
So you're along, you see this box in the distance, you get kind of close and it pops into a building, you get close and it pops into a detail building. That popping is a detail. So blending properly to make that seamless transition from super high in space down to planet, it's not an easy problem.
It must not be, because it's a big feature that they mention in many games now.
Exactly. And then when you talk about what Star Citizen have been talking about with the prototyping they've been doing, where they're actually wanting to try and build cities procedurally and have those feel organic, that's even harder. How do you randomly, essentially, procedurally generate a city but have it feel like it was handmade? That's the key, and that's
handmade and has a history to it.
Huh?
Because they also want to do it with different architecture styles in different parts of the town.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, here's the red zone, here's the blue zone, like you see in so many other games. They want to make it so it's like, oh, this is, you can start seeing it from the old town to the new town and all that kind of stuff. That's difficult. I mean, it's difficult for architects today to do that.
It is.
For actual cities.
They're getting a long way towards it with their kind of city packs that they've done. So they have certain building types and certain color palettes, and they're able to interchange those to build up these different cities. So that gets them a long way. And then it's just about informing it. So you look at Elite Dangerous, for example, the way they do procedural planets. It has this seed of inputs that determine what type of planet it becomes. Then based off of those rules that have been defined in the engine, it uses that to build the planets. The same as No Man's Sky is going to be. Mm-hmm. It has certain rules which informs how the planet's going to turn out.
Like tectonics, like actual plate tectonics and stuff, and then layered on top of that more like systems. It's cool.
Exactly, yeah. So when it's...
Or even like eventually trees and fauna and flora and all that kind of stuff as well on top of it, and like the levels of like dead grass and trees.
Exactly, and all that becomes input. So you know that as foliage, you need to grow near water. So this can be part of the rules engine is we have water, so nearby we're going to put some plants. And then you add in fauna, it's like, well, we have some plants, maybe these creatures are going to be there. And these are all rule-based things. You can have the same thing with a city. So maybe this population has cities built around this central meeting area, and then maybe there's this meeting area needs like commerce buildings, so it'll throw in some commercial buildings, and then these commercial buildings need residences, and have these kind of rule engines that determine there's these needs. This is likely to be this type of building because it's in this vicinity, and it's complex. It's super complex to do, but if they can pull it off, it's going to be kind of special.
Well, how complex do you think it is using the Crytek engine?
Probably doubly complex.
I mean, the complexity for the Crytek engine is the stuff we talked about before, which is having the streaming, the dynamic LODs, the texture streaming, the just all of the graphics pipeline stuff. That's the only thing that's engine bound. The actual generation of what it should be and the logic behind the procedural generation is purely down to the code they write. It has nothing to do with the engine. The engine just represents things you tell it to show you.
Okay.
It's the background code.
How hard that engine is to work with. So I thought maybe that had something to contribute to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the limitation on the engine is largely how it streams stuff, and also the networking side of things as well. But I mean, as for telling the engine what to show us, that side of the code, the procedural generation for that's their own stuff, and it's pretty complex.
So, everybody, I'm just showing the freelancer right now. This is my freelancer Max. I'm trying to. I didn't want to keep beating up trying to get into the PTU at this moment. I'm playing on the PTU, but I'm in my own hangar at this point.
Yeah, seeing how much you're crashing, I probably would have raised.
It's very frustrating, but Gio, if you go into the way I was explaining this today is that all along this game has been for other people. This game has been Arena Commander has been for people who like to pew pew and fly in a little tiny bubble, right? And I give people like you guys, all of you, credit to have been persevering through that, because that was boring as piss to me, and I tried it, but it didn't do it for me. You're going out with this chick and she's just not hot enough and it isn't working, right? So, but this right now is actually starting to look like the game that I want. And so I was very patient with it. I played it for like 4 hours last night and crashed every 5 minutes. I played it today. It was crashing like every 3 minutes, and it's been crashing all night tonight. And I don't mind, because it's like we were talking about earlier. It's that 1 or 2 moments where it actually is working just fine, where I'm like, wow, this is fucking great. So, yeah, the Kool-Aid tastes pretty good right about now.
So good.
Welcome back, Domo. Welcome back to the cult.
Exactly. Dude, no,
I'm not going to do that.
People came by the last couple of days and were like, Domo, are you actually playing Star Citizen? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you guys, what do you guys think about getting the 1,042 referrals to get in the Mile High Club?
Is that real?
You get 1,042?
Is that real?
I don't
Is
know.
that a thing?
I don't know. Did Ben said it on RTV. I don't know if he was trolling or for
He's
real.
probably joking.
I've got like 8.
I
feel so on the referral.
That's more than I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2. I've got like 15 actually.
Bear, you don't have that many?
No, you got to remember.
I got prospects. I've got 2 completed. Wait, actually, let me check it. But last time I checked,
prospects. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 15 prospects and 2 actuals.
Yeah. See, you got to remember that people like Baron and myself and Domo, we've been playing Star Citizen and trying to refer people to Star Citizen for well over a year now, and they only introduced a referral system like last month.
Yeah.
So we've got. I know I've got at least a dozen, if not more, people who have joined Star Citizen because of me, because they've come onto my stream and said, "I joined because of you." Thank you.
It's not going to count. Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, Domo and Baron have thousands of people who've joined because they were introduced to Star Citizen because of them. Same with Flint. And the problem is that we didn't have the referral system when we were doing this. We were just doing it because we loved the game and we wanted to support the game and see it grow and all that kind of stuff.
I don't really care, honestly. It's just
none of us really have that.
It's just swaggy stuff. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
But now we get in the Mile High Club with 1,024. I might have a goal to shoot for.
Yeah, well, they did say there was going to be another way to get in the Mile High Club. So I don't think he was trolling. That's going to be very hard to obtain, even for us.
I haven't got 3.
I think the most person who got the most prospects that I know is Source. Source had like 100 some prospects, and I think he been past the 10. He's up there.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's been kicking ass.
Let's see. One of the things I noticed on these questions that I do want to address, because it's something that's been brought up a lot.
Go for it.
To me, is so since Star Citizen seems to be to want this game to be streamer friendly, with certain ships being for streamers, do you hope Star Citizen will add a game mechanic to prevent viewers from locating and stream sniping you? And my response is no. I don't want that. A, there's no way to do it, and B, as a streamer playing in an open world game like this, you have to take that into account. And anyone who complains about it, they complain about it because I'm sure it happens a lot to them in games like DayZ and H1Z1, and that's understandable, and you to get frustrated by it, but you take that into account when you play the game. And we're not YouTubers. We're a lot of, most of us, except for Geo, who's also streaming now.
He's going to stream soon, everybody. Get ready for Geo's streams.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my streaming virginity to 2.0, so be prepared.
Okay, there we go.
Yep,
Nice.
got my cherry.
But it's a lot more. It actually adds to the experience of a streamer to get stream sniped, because it's happened to me before in Elite. It's happened to me before in Star Citizen. And it's happened to me before where I've lost, and it's happened to me before where I've just kicked them so hard that their teeth caved in. And it's really fun when you win, because it's one of those, haha, I'm here to stream snipe you, and they're just like a wreckage floating in space, and just walking by like, I got it on stream.
I actually got stream sniped in EVE Online by some people because they couldn't find anyone to kill. So they found my stream. So I was tooling around in LowSec, came to find me, fought me. We were completely unprepared. They killed me, and then they sent me money to replace my ship and said, "Thanks for the fight. We were just looking for someone to fight."
Holy
and
shit.
then it happened a couple times through the night, and I kicked the rest of the time. But it wasn't too bad at all. But I just want to say, for streamer-friendly certain ships, isn't there something about the Herald being able to be set up as a news truck?
No, that was the Reliant.
Was it the Reliant?
No, it's a Herald. No, it's a
You
Herald.
can do it in the Herald too.
It's a Herald van. Yeah, the news van.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that, is that I have no idea how they're going to do this in terms of streaming friendly. My only understanding of how to do this is streaming friendly, and I know I've had this conversation with Baron before, is about doing it with in-game streaming in-game things to in-game monitors. So being able to do actual news, sort of like INN has their news van on Operation Pitchfork and is doing broadcasting it to the bar on ArcCorp, so you can watch it going on live. I think that's what they're trying to do, not necessarily live stream it to Twitch, because we do that already, and there's really no easier way to do it than what we already do. They're not introducing anything like that.
So Disco kind of touched base on this during the 42-hour stream, if I'm remembering correctly. It's all kind of a blur at this point, so I may have
Disco Linda,
Disco Linda. But he was saying that one thing that they're exploring is that the news van kind of thing might give you additional camera, maybe there's camera drones or things like that you might be able to control, give you new options to capture the battle from a new angle, or make things a little bit more cinematic, or whatever you might want to do.
That'd be fantastic, man. Somebody like Bikeman will take that and run with it, because he'll make he does those really fancy video stuff all the time.
So you're saying something like how Halo does their theater mode afterwards? You can just drop the cameras, and you can control the cameras after the battle or during the battle or whatever. You have no idea, do you?
No, I don't.
No. All right, let's move on here. Another question. What do you guys think is the best personal transport ship? Personal transport.
Right
transporting
now,
personnel?
that's got to be the Genesis, hands down.
Yeah, I was going to say Genesis.
No, personal,
Well, yeah, personal or cargo, that's the question.
Personal transport. Personal transport.
Transport yourself?
Aurora?
Just yourself, right? Yeah, it could be anything.
Aurora, P-72. I mean, it depends if you can transport you and stuff. I mean, Aurora is the best, just little small ship that can do everything and can fly around.
It's also the best ship in the game. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, the 350R luxury, and it's fast.
Yeah,
so,
sure. There's really no
there is no best personal ship.
It's pretty much what you want to do, because even with the way that the flight models work now, it's if you want to go someplace, I can go 600 meters per second in an Aurora. And I can go 1,000 meters per second in a 350 in a straight line. There's no speed isn't an issue. It's more of a
comfort
style.
Well, a range is an issue now.
Yeah. I guess,
fuel and range, and speed potentially for things like your quantum drive speeds, because those do vary based on ship. So if your personal transport is something you need to travel a long way then maybe you want something that has either faster quantum speed or higher fuel amounts. If you just want to poodle around inside a system and look sexy doing it, get an M50 or something swanky, a P-72. There's too many choices.
All right, good. What is the current state of the PTU With the courtesy of the PTU, how long do you think it will take for 2.0 to come alive?
And I'm thinking maybe next week.
Friday, probably.
I'm thinking either the end of next week or the beginning of, or middle of the week after.
Yeah.
Because in the United States, we've got Thanksgiving on Thursday. And I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people who are going to call or going to be taking Friday off because they want to be with their families. So
not in the UK, though.
Not in the UK, but
Foundry 42 is the office for 2.0. So
is it? Okay, so yeah, so we might be able to get it by Black Friday. We also might be able to get it. That'd be a great time to get it by Black Friday because that would be a huge incentive for them to get it.
That would suck for me because I'll be out of town.
So many hardware upgrades are going to be made. Fries will hear.
Yeah. But I think Friday is a good estimate, but I would temper your expectations to it may slip to early to mid next week or even the Friday after if they have serious issues. But
so far they do. So
the crash is real. The only time I don't see you guys crashing is when you're in the hangar.
Yeah, so I'm in the hangar.
The thing is with the crash thing, it could be one single crash bug.
Right.
It's just somebody in the system is hitting it every 5 minutes. And if there's 40 people in the system, someone's hitting it every 5 minutes. And that could be taking out the entire server's worth of ships. It could be one bug, and it could be fixed tomorrow and be stable as hell. We don't know.
Wait, that's not the
now, to be fair, the rates when it's not crashing, like how much it jumps and stuff, it's very, very small jumps. The performance is amazing. I've had very little drops and that kind of stuff. So it has to do with something more.
The jumps are ship loading bugs, the same as we've seen in AC for ages.
Yeah.
Whenever someone spawns a ship at Olisar, it freezes. If they spawn a constellation, it's a big ass freeze.
That's right. All right, next question. We got to get scooting along because we're coming up to. We got to finish up soon. For Bad News Baron, what do you think of the new flight model? Though your flight times have been minimal like the rest of us, are you still using a HOTAS? This is from Ryglitch.
Honestly, I can't give you a good answer on the flight model because I haven't had enough experience consistently playing. You to get a good feel for the flight model, what you need is a lot of time flying around objects and doing combat, and there's no way to do that right now. You get like 5 minutes and you crash out. So from what I have seen so far, and I am still a joystick user, by the way, it's easier for me to hit things. It seems like my aiming is a lot better this patch for some reason. But yeah, I don't know how the ships are handling right now. I can't give you a good answer on that. In terms of peripherals, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I use two joysticks. This is sort of the input method that I promote. So I have a modified Thrustmaster Warthog in the right hand. I have a T16000M in the left hand. I'm using flight pedals and I'm using track IR, and that's how I do everything.
Cool. Since Star Citizen seems to want this game to be streamer friendly, search. Oh, we already guys.
Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah,
okay, sorry.
I talked about that.
Assuming the big three actually develop another generation of consoles, what do you think about a console port of Squadron 42? How do you think that'll affect the game's perception overall? This is from Biogen.
Oh, well, maybe by next gen they could finally push 1080p games. By that time, we'll be on 4K. That peasantry.
So, we're already on 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Citizen's native 4K.
Not well, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think those consoles will still be too weak for this game, to be honest. The consoles are so sad. The peasantry that goes on is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They might be able to squeeze enough performance out of the PS4 to get. I think they've even said that they haven't done any investigation because they're not even looking at it. But there's still so much. You'd have to do so much ridiculous backbending stuff to get it to work that. And I don't think even next generation consoles would be able to handle it because it's weird like that because it's a PC game.
It's not just a fidelity, though. I mean, there's two issues that you have with consoles and games on consoles, especially online games. One is the networking. So for an online game with like Sony and with Microsoft, they generally have their proprietary networks that you have to load stuff on, which is why you often see games that aren't cross-platform playable between like PlayStation and PC without some real wrangling on the back end. So that's one issue. But the other one is control scheme. The game is designed around having like a HOTAS with a buttload of buttons, a keyboard, a mouse, and having all these input mechanisms. And while you can map up a controller for most of the controls, there's still so much more you'll need to do. And that there's just not enough buttons and not enough controls on that controller to be able to handle at all. And so they would have to to make it the same across both games, it'd have to essentially dumb down the control inputs and the control schemes and the options in the PC version to bring it in line with the console, which is one of the biggest issues with games. And why you see console ports or ports of console games to PC not going very well, because they feel like console games.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, that on that point, that Elite Dangerous has fantastic bindings for Xbox controllers on the Xbox One version. I didn't think it could work at all. I thought it was going to be a flop. I thought this is just no way. It's actually really, really fun on the Xbox controller. And if anything, it's got just as many controls as Star System is going to have. So I think there's a way. Maybe
yeah,
it's not fast.
The problem would also be size. Like right now, I mean, yes, I know they've optimized for 2.0. 2.0 patch was something like 29 gigs.
Oh, size is a big thing, yeah.
And we got to remember that most consoles do not have a lot of storage space. And most consoles require an installation process now. So if you're going to put even Squadron 42, which could be 30 gigs on its own, you're going to put a 30 gig game on a console with 500 gigs of memory. That's gonna better be your own game, or you better be one of your 3 games you play, because you're not gonna play anything else. So
yeah, they said it's possible that this game could be on the Peasant Station 4. When they say that,
they said that way back when Sony first came to them and gave them a PS4 dev kit.
Remember that it was Wingman was
and
walking
they even
through.
said that it might, and they said might, and there was the emphasis on 13 years down the road, once they've got everything else done, they might think about doing a console version of maybe Squadron 42.
I mean, like I say, it's not as impossible. I mean, those are the challenges, the points I made with the challenge points. And like Baron says, I mean, I even played Star Citizen with my PlayStation 4 controller for the longest time before I got a joystick. But I mean, it's still a challenging area.
I'm using an Xbox controller right now while walking around. It just is easier to walk around with one. All right, let's move on here. Do you worry about the repair and mining mechanics might be too involved and tedious as it stands? Do you think it's likely SIG will make the mechanics less involved by release? This is from Fastcart.
I hope not.
I can't see CIG dumbing anything down.
No, it's a sim.
They'll
it's a
make
simulation.
It more fun. If it's not fun, they'll make it more fun, but they won't dumb down the mechanic.
It's not nearly as intricate as what's that game that Scott Manning was playing, where you have to you're getting in the ship and you have to
Rogue something.
Rogue Galaxy
Rogue
or something.
Galaxy.
You got to flip. You got to turn on the heater. You got to turn on.
Which one?
It's
the one where you have to come in. You have to flip all these switches and turn on the
switches.
That's Rogue System. Is
Rogue
what
System.
The DCS style space sim.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's a game I play called OMSI 2, which is very similar. It's for driving buses. Okay, and you have to get in, you got to flip all the thing, got to make sure the heater in the back is on the right temperature so that your passengers aren't pissed off and stuff like that. Those games, while really fun, are very tedious, but they do capture a certain crowd. I don't think that Star Citizen will ever be that level of a sim, because when you're getting in your ships right now, you're not flipping all the switches in sequence. So I don't think.
However, I will say that 2.0, in order to do a lot more of the management, it is now a lot more sim-like, because you have to hit all, you have to go down and hit all the buttons with your. It's very similar to my experience already from what I experienced in Take on Mars. I played that a lot, and the way that the Take on Mars does its button system, where it's kind of got a panel, and you kind of hit Alt, and you kind of you move around and you push buttons to get turn on the lights and to activate the crane and everything. It's almost exactly how CIG is doing their systems for the ships now. As we kind of have to interact physically.
It would be cool if they had multiple levels, like if they had just a get in and play level, and then they had the sim level, and if you wanted to, was that?
Thing is, I think the mining is a niche role, right? And I think having something for everyone, even some role in the game that those people love, the really niggly little tedious almost things to do, having something in the game that caters to that is a good thing, right? Not everyone has to be a miner.
Not everyone has to transport be an or an airliner pilot or a stewardess on a starship,
So don't homogenize the whole thing. Don't dumb everything down to exactly the same level. Some people will play the game and they will love to do the mining thing. Some people will love to do salvaging. Some people love just to fly around shooting things. I think it's a mistake to try and dumb everything down so that everyone wants to do it.
Time out, Geo. Go.
Timer 67, message me.
Timer 67. You got to send a message over to Geo. You can do it how would you do it, Gio? On here? On Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch, yeah.
Yeah, send a message to Gio on Twitch. Congratulations, Timer. He won the ship tonight. They were donated by Mr. Gio, so thank you, Gio, for doing that.
Buddy.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, continue on. Thank you.
Yeah, I pretty much made my point.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So basically, I want to see variants in the various different mechanics and systems and roles we can play in the game. And if there's some that really fit for people who love that level of intricate detail, it should be that complex, and it shouldn't be dumbed down because they're saying, "Oh, it's boring. I don't want to do this in the game." Well, don't friggin' do it.
They don't do it. Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah, because somebody in the audience just said that maybe that who's ever going to be a medic. I think that would be a fantastic fun thing to play as a medic.
I mean, you could do things like they already do with the repair system. Like you have a scanner, you have different things that you could scan and be like, oh, I've got his liver is in thing. I need to have this amount of cc's of this drug to inject him and that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff you have to kind of think about. Like, oh, I need to have
Surgeon Simulator Star Citizen Edition.
Yeah, well, not even that detail.
No,
but
it
just
is
like,
funny. It'd be great.
But knowing the like the right drugs to inject or the right procedures to do at the right time would be awesome. It would be able to stabilize somebody or even NPC.
Smogfire's got a great idea. What about organ mining for those of you who walk on the fringe of society?
I'm going to steal Bzerker's kidney.
Exactly, right?
You don't want my kidney. You don't want my kidney.
Or his liver.
In a bathtub full of ice. And
Space
out
ice.
on your head.
It's like I went in for like hand surgery, and now I get drunk really quick.
Yeah, I needed bigger hands.
Bigger hands. All right, let's move on to a couple more. We got a couple more questions here, then we're gonna get out of here. It's an LTI mustard giveaway reel. Yes, Chilroy. Do you think there needs to be Space Station 13 mod for Star Citizen? Space Station 13. Which one? What is
Maybe.
It?
Is that a TV show?
No, Space Station 13 is as a game that you can play right now. It's kind of 2D, top down. It's very moldable, and it's kind of got a crazy community going on. They have servers, all that kind of stuff. It's a free to play game.
Star Citizen out itself first, Cowboy.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Of the current ships available in 2.0, which one do you enjoy the most? Look forward to firing up. Well, I keep saying this over and over again. Freelancer would be enough for me. Like if I could get it, but it's not in there yet, of course. But I love this. Some guy's in a buggy on fire, and I just watch him when he explodes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I could run people over in that just for hours. I just love the doom doom. It's not like you're hitting the cone when their bodies hit it. I love it.
Okay. So what ships, real quick? What would you guys? What ships would be the most important to you?
Most ship important right now, 2.0 or just period?
Like 2.0. I guess I kind of jumped the gun there with the.
Okay, and 2.0 is definitely my Retaliator, hands down.
Okay, Baron.
Linda.
Linda. All right, Bzerker.
Probably my Delta, only because I want to see how it flies and if they fixed a lot of the flying, the maneuverability issues and the damage issues with it. But that's just me on a technical side point, because I've kind of flown everything else I've already wanted to fly.
Yeah, Flint.
Well, I mean, like I said, I love all my ships. I want to fly around with someone Netflix and chilling in the back of my bank, so I'm flying around. But for 2.0, I have to say the Constellation. Just getting the Constellation when it's stable, getting a bunch of viewers, a bunch of crew in there, filling that ship up with as many people as we possibly can, like 40 if we can, and then just trucking around and doing crazy shit. That's
Party Connie.
Party Connie.
That was one of the things I loved about DayZ is the mod was that people would do the party buses where they'd fix up the bus and they just drive around the shores, being like, "Hey, you get in the party bus, noob. Let's go!" And everyone just pile into the bus, just drive around doing stupid things together until the bus explodes for like hitting like a rock, like a pebble.
So my plan is to have a fight club, a Constellation fight club. So we're going to fill the ship, fly off somewhere out into the asteroid belt. Everyone jump into the cargo bay, open it up even so people can fall off the edge, and then have a fist fight. Have a fist fight in the cargo bay Constellation in space.
Do that with spectating on the top.
Yeah,
around the top. Yeah, exactly.
Throwing stuff down.
Like a crazy fight club.
That'd be fantastic.
I've been wanting fist fighting for the longest. I asked Lando about it. He said he didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
You can do it now.
Fist fight?
You hit X when you have a pistol out and you punch people. You pistol whip people.
Oh.
We've been having fights on Friday Throwdown for months, guys.
There you go.
I didn't know you could pistol whip in this game.
You can pistol whip.
You didn't ask him about karate, did you? Because somebody asked about karate, and he was like, "What?"
Gio was asking about the karate.
Okay. Yeah.
With karate, do it kick your ass from here to right over there?
Oh,
Like I said, if I could just do this, throw a few punches, I'll be happy. It doesn't have to be karate. Just throw that.
Yeah, if I could just do unarmed combat, like just with my fist.
Some simple Fallout 4 shit. Just give me that. I'll be satisfied.
Real quick, you guys, a couple questions. This one's from Chilroy. I want your input on this. I asked on Reddit a couple weeks ago how SIG will prevent combat logging. The answer is I got your ship will stay in space when you log off. If you combat log, your ship just sits. My question is, if this is true, how will you deal with game crashes or power outages by playing? Legitimate crashes.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
You shit out of luck if you crash out.
Yeah. I mean, if you crash out and your ship is in the middle of battle, then sorry. I mean, don't have a better internet connection, noob. I mean, I don't mean to be that mean, but this is an online game.
Yeah, there's no way to deal with it.
That requires power. If you live in, a hut in Rwanda, you probably not best idea to play this game. You got to make sure you have reliable sources of internet and reliable sources of power in order to play these kinds of games.
But shit happens. Shit's going to crash. That's why you have insurance.
Yeah.
In real, I live in Texas. It's in Tornado Alley. At any point, my apartment could be hit by a tornado. I live here knowing that. If you're going into an offline multiplayer game, you know that you're playing on an internet connection and a power connection. If those go out, you might get screwed. That's a natural disaster in gaming terms. It might happen. It might happen.
Yeah.
I live in California. We have earthquakes all the time. I could.
California could fall right off into the ocean.
It fall off into the ocean. I run that risk. It's one of those things that happens. You just gotta kind of.
When you consider your alternatives are either have a highly repeatable exploitation based off of pulling your plug out on the internet, or you have an occasional my internet goes to shit and that I might die. I would take the latter every day of the week.
Yep.
All right, real quick. I think this will be our last question. This one is from Dreamweb. Do you guys feel SIG are shooting themselves in the foot trying to adapt the CryEngine, a primarily single-player engine around a persistent MMO netcode? I'm especially interested and concerned about players moving inside multi-crew ships while movement. I've seen the game that pulled that off successfully. Before we get, I'll let Captain Flint answer this one primarily, but I did do an interview with Travis Day, and he explained the whole instancing system, and it blew my mind, the complexity of it. So go ahead, Mr. Captain Flint.
Where's the question? I'm trying to find the question.
The question is 39. It's basically
there we go.
Adapting the CryEngine and also the multi-crew system, which I will cut in beforehand. It's in 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
it works.
As a crowdfunded game, building your engine from scratch is not an option. It's not. An engine takes 3 or 4 years to build on its own. Before you have something that's even remotely playable. It would have been a nightmare. As for the instant system, was it saying you've seen games that do it before? It's very different. A lot of games cheat. They have the ship is static and space flies past them and other random various cheats. The way that Cloud Imperium have done it is novel. It is novel. In such a large space with 64-bit addressing and stuff, it's completely novel. And the fact that they, if nothing else, any limitations that may have been present in the CryEngine versus other engines they could have chosen, their relationship with Crytek and the fact that they've employed the Crytek engineers now and they have been able to make such extensive modifications to the CryEngine puts them streets ahead of anything else. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they shot themselves in the foot at all. Every game development, when you start development, you have to go through and the decision-making process and pick an engine. If you have many years and lots of money, you can make one, but generally you have to pick an engine. And always there's trade-offs. There's good points, bad points to every engine. And the fact that they've managed to do so much they have with CryEngine up till now and 2.0 as the exemplar of what they've managed to do in this, honestly, a really short amount of time shows that actually they made a good decision. For all things considered, they made a good decision.
I think to a degree it was also kind of serendipity, because Crytek had all its troubles right when CIG needed to hire more Crytek engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And guess who just suddenly showed, because they were having a hard time early on finding people who knew the CryEngine very well.
Yeah.
Suddenly Crytek starts shutting down all its businesses because it's run out of money. And so suddenly there's a lot of people who know CryEngine who
need a job.
need a job. And Chris Roberts was like, hey, let's open up a studio in Frankfurt because we've got a lot of people who need a job and you can help us out a lot. And people forget also things like the Unreal Engine. A lot of people talk about Unreal 4 being that would have been a better choice. Unreal 4 wasn't introduced until 2013, I think, 2014. And this game was pitched in 2012 and the prototype was being developed, and the close working relationship with Crytek started in 2011. So this game they picked an engine in 4 years before, Unreal.
They had a solid advocate of stuff as well. So, I mean, but like, I found the question now. So to addressing the specific points, like any engine they picked, they would have had to rewrite the networking anyway, because what they're doing is so different with the instancing of the networking and the zoning system, which incorporates networking. They would have had to start from scratch anyway and rewrite the stuff that was already in the engine. So not being solidly a network engine isn't a big thing. And that's for the players move around inside cruise ships while moving. So that's the whole point of this zone system and this local grid system. Essentially what they've done, they've taken a system that you see in every game, which is the zoning system, which does your object culling and helps determine what the renderer actually has to draw versus what it doesn't have to draw. And they've incorporated the networking into that. So now you're in a situation where you're not having to track every single player in the area. You're only having to track the ones you can actually see and actually care about, which means having multiple people inside a ship, you're not actually tracking those players at all unless you can see them in the ship, which cuts down massively on that. And then the local physics, which essentially if you take potatoes floating around in space, this is an asset and it has an address relative to space. It's at X, Y, this number. And then you have a ship, which is a phone. This has an address, which is relative to space. Now, when the potato gets in the ship, it now goes into local grid. So now instead of being relative to space, potato is relative to the ship. So the potato doesn't care about space. It doesn't care where it is anywhere in space. All it cares about is where it is on the ship. And it inherits the coordinates from the ship. So it says, I am here on the ship. And if I want to know where this is in space, I just have to be this offset of this ship's position. And it makes it so much easier. And it's kind of cool.
Does that potato come with LTI?
It's an LTI
it is an
potato.
LTI potato. It's the last survivor of the great Vandal potato famine.
It's potato culling.
We need that for subscriber player.
Thank you for doing that entire thing with a potato.
You're welcome, man.
It works.
And don't ask why I have a potato on my desk. It's a long story.
Well, don't ask why I have lotion on my desk. So we're good.
What else is down there? Yeah, lotion. Okay, let's go real quickly. Let's go around the room and say goodbye and tell us where people can watch you. So, number one, Mr. Captain Flint, where can people find you? Where can they watch you? Tell us.
I am on twitch.tv/Captain_Flint, as on the screen, but with an underscore. I'm also on YouTube as Captain Flint TV. It's basically highlights of the random crap on my Twitch, plus some tutorials and things. And on Twitter, Captain_Flint as well.
Awesome. Next up is Mr. Geo, which says Bzerker.
Find me on YouTube, Geo Get Money, Twitch, Geo Get Money, Twitter, Geo Get Money, and I will be live streaming this week as soon as we go live, if we go live this week.
You're gonna go live. We'll get you in there. So. Actually, somebody said they offered to give you an account. So
yeah, talk to Biohazard.
Biohazard will do it for you. All right, next up, Mr. Bzerker, go.
My name is Bzerk01. I host The Station, which is a nightly live stream, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, we do 8 to midnight, and on Saturdays, we do a morning stream from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We do space games. Star Citizen's our main game, but we do lots of other games related to space, science fiction, that kind of stuff. So,
all right.
You can find me on Bzerk01 Twitch.tv/Bzerk01 and Twitter.com/Bzerk01. So
and Disco still has no idea who you are.
He still has no idea who the heck hell I am.
That's
so.
good. And finally, the man of the hour, Mr. Bad News Baron, who streamed for 13 hours prior to this, and do appreciate him coming on tonight. Go ahead, sir. Where can people find you?
Chat didn't acknowledge us before, so I'm going to assume that they didn't hear it. Spudnik.
Spudnik.
Nice. That's funny.
They captured Spudnik. I see that.
Perfect name.
Twitch.tv/badnewsbaron, Twitter.com/thebadnewsbaron, YouTube.com/badnewsbaron. We got some videos on there of 2.0, so go check it out.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks once again. We are here every week on Saturday. I think we're going to move the time back to like 6:30 so that Geo can get back from from his strip
I
club
won't
job.
be here next week though, because of Thanksgiving. I'll be
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of town.
Is next Saturday the Thanksgiving weekend Saturday?
Yeah. Thanksgiving
All right,
weekend,
we'll
yes.
stay tuned, guys. We'll play it by ear. We'll see if we're gonna have a show that week. I don't know. We'll see.
Follow us on Twitter to find out.
Follow us on Twitter. Yeah, make sure you're following one of us on Twitter because we all talk about all of us. Follow every one of us.
Everyone.
All of us.
One of us.
We will be
one of the crew.
I'm slowing down putting this up on YouTube. It's just such a pain in the ass to get it on YouTube. So I think the best thing, if you guys want to watch it, just watch it here. Because it's just easier. Putting it on YouTube is becoming really of a pain in the ass. I couldn't get the last one up at all. Giggity. So
you do like a highlight and export.
I do the highlight and export, and it fails. And so then I try to do it again, and it fails. And so what I end up doing, especially if it goes over the 2-hour mark, it always seems to be at 2:01. It just fucks up. So
there's a service you can actually download the videos.
Well, I've done that. So if I download, I record it locally, right? But then I go to put it up on YouTube, and even if I do a really good job of compressing it, it's still around 4 to 6 gigs, somewhere in there. And then every time, invariably, when I go to upload it, it just poops out. So I'm just getting, I get so
YouTube struggles.
I hate it.
That's why I'm converting my ass to Twitch.
Yeah, when Twitch does its, well, we'll talk about that. That's Chalk Shop afterwards.
Yeah, it's good, good stuff. I can't wait for it. All right, guys, good night. Thank you for all the fans who stopped by today, and we'll see you all next week. Remember, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. See ya.
Goodbye. Night.